Messiah did not keep the Sabbath the same day the Pharisees did. He actually untied their Sabbath. Remnant of Light does a really, really good video on this, and I hope you go and look that up. But what you're saying that, the seventh day hasn't changed since creation, you can't prove that. You can't go back through time and literally track all the weeks back until creation. Nobody can. But what we can do is use the instructions that the Father gives us that were taken out of the canon. So the books that were taken out have the direct instruction on how to find the calendar. And they were taken out because they contain it. You have to go and actually read them to be able to understand it. So even in Genesis, the Father says that the lights were created for days and nights and years. But it's not specific as to what luminary does what. And that's for good reason. It's to hide his Sabbaths and feasts, because he doesn't want anyone profaning them. He wants us to search for them and humble ourselves and really try our best to be Bereans and test everything, because we've been sold nothing but lies. So when you look at the lunar calendar, it doesn't match up to anything in the Bible. There's no direct instruction to use the moon for months. It's literally of darkness, and Yah is of light. If you read the Dead Sea Scrolls, they talk about the sons of darkness versus the sons of light. And the sons of light use the sun and the sun signs to mark the year, the months, the Sabbaths, and weeks. Yes, in his 364-day calendar, there are 52 weeks of 7 days. That's right. And they're held by the luminary, the great luminary that marks creation week. There's 2 signs. There's a sign of equal day, equal night that's seen in the land of Israel, where we are exiled from. And there's also a marker for the first day of the year, which is on the 4th day of creation week. It's perfect. It fits everything. The entire canon can prove it. And you should really check into it, because the moon calendar and the Gregorian weekly count is just deception. It's utter deception. You have to do the work. You have to take the time. You have to read the things that men don't want you to read, and be led by the Ruach in all things. I'm glad I did. Because it is true freedom out of Babylon. So anyway, yes, he has 52 weeks of 7 days in 364 days. But here's the kicker. Here's what you need to understand, and what most people don't. There's one day that divides the year. And that one day is proven, because if you track from vernal equinox to vernal equinox, you will come up with 365 days out of the year. 365 is not divisible by 7. And the Gregorian calendar doesn't recognize that day. So they just keep going cycle after cycle after cycle without that pause. Without that pause to start back the year up. You know, Yah, if you really truly look at his calendar, he separates the seasons by 4 seasonal days of the year. He divides things. And if you miss that divider day, like the Gregorian calendar does, the days just go on and on. It shifts, just like your birthday shifts. So see my pinned post on how I give a visual, and it's really, really helpful, and it's been helping a lot of people. But when you're triggered like this, and you're asking these questions, they're really important questions. But when you're making statements like, oh yeah, his 7-day week cycle has not changed, again, you cannot go back in time and prove it, because I could actually go back in time and prove that it has changed. There was 10-day weeks, 8-day weeks. Saturday was actually the first day of an 8-day week before the Gregorian. True story. Figure that one out. So, and I have all the proofs to scroll through my videos. They're really helpful. But yeah, we've been sold nothing but lies. The sun sets the calendar and the Sabbaths, and the moon is for agricultural purposes. You know, it's a she. It's always known as a she. She's a nurturer, but she does not control the calendar. She's a good witness, because she's full when she's on the opposite side of the sun, and it could be a witness of the stars, backing, where the sun is, as opposed to the moon at night, and with all the constellations, it's a really good witness there. It doesn't govern the calendar. So just check in on all this stuff. It's important. Being on time for Yah's feasts and Sabbaths are his mark on his people. And if you don't have his mark, whose mark do you have? Think about it. Pray about it. Shalom.